Hi. Okay, we just did the intro. Now we're going to do an example. So we're going to do the example on page 410, number 2. I'm going to show you the example here and going to write it out. Do want to show how I want things written out. I don't want using a formula for right now. I know there's a formula there. I think we can go beyond with our understanding if we use formulas less. So the first challenge is, so here's number 2. It says, find the surface area of the prism. The first challenge is to draw the figure, right? Drawing is important. It gets our head around what we're doing. So I'm going to draw the figure. I always start by drawing the front. So that's a rectangle. And it's marked 8 centimeters and 5 centimeters. And then I tend to draw the lines that go from the front to the back. And you see 3 of them. I'm not going to draw the dotted ones. I'm just going to draw a line and a line and a line. And all those lines are parallel to one another. And then I connect the backs of those lines. And we have our figure. And it says here that this is 8 centimeters. All right, so I'm going to put the book away for a second. Generate a little more room. Okay, so the next thing I want you to draw is I want you to draw this figure as if it came from a piece of paper. So here's something that looks a little like that figure. Here's a cube, right? And it came from a piece of paper. Let me get a scissors. So I cut this little piece of tape that I used to tape it together. There's various ways of making this, but this came from a piece of paper that's shaped like that. Doesn't really totally matter where you put those 2 pieces, although to some degree it might. We're going to talk about these. This is a net. So I'm going to draw the net that this came from. So I'm going to start with the front panel again. So that front panel is 5 by 8. And then this panel is next to each other, next to it on the 5 side. So there's another one here. So far I've drawn this panel and this panel, this panel and this panel. All right. Now I'm going to draw a panel that you don't see. The panel in the back would go next to the panel we just drew. And then the panel over here in the back, behind, this panel was the back side of the piece. And now I'm going to draw a panel that's the left side of the piece, if you will. And all of these panels are the same size. They all have a height of 5, and they have a width of 8 and a width of 8. So this is 8, this is 8, this is 5, these are 8. All right. Now, the top here could be connected to any one of these edges. I'm just going to connect it here. So that top has a width of 8 and a length of 8. So this is 8 by 8. And the bottom, we can connect the bottom to the same piece. The bottom is also 8 by 8. And then I want you to fill out the areas of these different pieces. So the area of this rectangle that's 5 by 8 is 40. The area of this rectangle that's 5 by 8 is 40. The area of this rectangle is also 40. And this one's 40 as well. And then this rectangle, which is the bottom, and this rectangle, which is the top, are both 64 because they're 8 by 8. And then I want you to show, maybe 5 times 40 plus 2 times 64. And then let's see, 5 times 40 is 200. And 2 times 64 is 128. And therefore the area is 328. 328. I forget what units they were. It might have been centimeters, meters. It says it's meters. Meters squared. All right. And that's example 2. I'll show you another example in a minute.